What up, folks? I am Ultrazilla, and this is the Ultra Z News Comic Con Report Part 1. That's right, my Zillions. It is San Diego Comic Con weekend, and we are starting the festivities early here on a Friday night because we're going to go Friday, we're going to go Saturday, we're going to go Sunday night. 3 nights in a row of Comic Con news coverage. Not only are we doing Comic Con though, and I'm just saying the Comic Con in general because you could, relate that to many different cons, which there kinda is. We have the Hong Kong Festival going on right now. It's not just called the Hong Kong Festival, it's ACGHK. There's comics in there, there's games, there's something with an A. Anime, right? I believe. Con going on, lots of stuff, lots of robot stuff coming out of there. We're gonna talk about stuff from that in the next 3 nights. Wonderfest is this weekend, I believe, in Japan. So we might talk about some stuff from there, but we might save that for next week. We'll see if we could fit it in. There's a lot of stuff that's already been announced. There was stuff, at the start of the week that we need to talk about as well. And we'll do that here. We're gonna take care of those initial things before Comic-Con really started tonight. We're going to take care of those. We're going to take care of a bunch of stuff that was announced that first night, though not everything. If your favorite company is not represented tonight, just know I'm only doing so because there's so much stuff to cover, and we got 3 nights to fill here. And I'm going by the order that I posted on my Facebook page, which you might have seen me post a link to earlier this week. That's where I post all my news links as they happen. As I gather them, that's where you want to check. But you know what, guys? Before we even get into it, I just want to say, the Ultra Z News started, with coverage of San Diego Comic Con during the first run of Ultra Z News, because there was a little gap, like a 2-year gap, where I stopped doing the Ultra Z News, and then I came back to it. And now it's become such a big part of the channel. I thank you guys for supporting the Ultra Z News, and I really, really appreciate it. And I'm glad, to keep my coverage of the San Diego Comic Con and the affiliated cons around or throughout the world going. It has always been a big part of the channel, a really good time, a lot of things to talk about. I really enjoy talking about all these different things. But I just want to say, once you watch one of these, do me a favor, go support one of my reviews as well. They need love too. Especially like the one from last night. I put so much work into that Lunar Cruiser Optimus Prime. If you could give it a check after you watch this, I would really appreciate it. But without any further ado, let's get to the news. So let's kick things off with the news that kicked off Comic-Con for me personally. I was having dinner, and I finished, and I saw this. And it is the SHMA MOTHRA and SUKO set. This is pretty cool. I like the idea of pairing these 2 small kaiju together, small titans, if you will, together. It makes a lot of sense, especially since the Mothra does appear to be just a repaint of the one they gave us before. But the news here is SUKO. It is a small figure, but there is some quote-unquote controversy about it. Not much of a controversy for me, but we'll talk about that. The big controversy is here is there's pins in the joints, and, people are going, oh, it's like Hasbro. Well, you know what? Hasbro mostly is pinless joints, honestly. I gonna say I'm not worried about this that much. It is an early prototype that I'm assuming was prepared to get these picks done in time for the show. I could be wrong about that, sure. But I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt since we haven't really seen that in the SH Monstros line, in the Figuarts line, that it wouldn't make a lot of sense to go backwards unless it's because there's such a small figure that they figured that this is a better way to do it. But I don't think so, and I'll tell you why in a little while. But also, I feel like the sculpt, if you look at the chest and stuff, doesn't look 100% complete. It looks a little bit sloppy. So, I don't know. There's something soft about it still. We'll see as we get more picks. They always, do exhibitions and stuff where they show this stuff down the line, and they always update the prototypes. We got a while before this comes out, but the two figures together are going to be less than $100, and that is cool. I like that idea, or give or take around that. It's going to be fine, I think, honestly. The base, sculpt looks like it's there. It's pretty good. We're going to get an extra Kong head. And as you can see by some of these pics, you do get a sense of scale between some of these figures. I think that was a cool idea to include that stuff. So yeah, should be interesting. I'm fine with it. Like I said, MOTHRA is looking pretty cool too. Again, looks like a repaint to me, but shall see as we move forward. Now, moving on, one other announcement they made that same night was Shanks from One Piece. And now we don't really talk about One Piece too much here, but I did want to point out this figure because it also has pins in the joints, and this is why I'm not too concerned. I doubt they're gonna put pins in an SH Figure Arts. I feel like, again, these are early prototypes that they got prepared for the show. Let's talk about some massive news that I am super excited about. Super being the operative word, as you can see here. And we talked about this before because we've seen it on display, but we didn't know exactly what it was going to be. It is a Robot Spirits side super line, starting with Voltes Legacy. That's right, my zillions. It is happening. I'm finally getting a line of super robots that's not a Chogokin. I am so happy about this. Now, they are going to still be pricey, but we're talking about less than $100, maybe 70-something bucks each, 70, 80 bucks each. I mean, Robot Spirits aren't cheap to start out with, and these are going to be a little bit bigger than the standard ones. But boy, am I excited. And Voltes is not going to be by himself. He is bringing a friend. That's right, because Grendizer U is the other figure that they announced. So these are two brand new versions of the characters that currently have a show. The Voltes is a Filipino live-action show, which looks amazing. And Grendizer U is a brand new cartoon that's starting right now. We talked about the SMP kit last week, and now we have an actual figure coming out, and I couldn't be more excited and happy about this line finally happening. I hope we get more. I hope these are well supported, because boy, have we needed this. Just give us plastic figures is all I've wanted, and now we're finally get it. You can bet I will be reviewing these. Earlier this week, we found out that the Godzilla action figure line will be continuing with Godzilla -1. That's right. Orders are up, pre-orders are up, at the Godzilla Store Japan, though I'm sure we're going to get pre-orders here as well. It does look pretty neat. It looks like the other figures so far. It does come with a breath effect, so yeah. More cheap Godzilla action figures? Yeah, why not? I'm all about it. Speaking of cheap Godzilla figures, Playmates officially announced their next 3 GXK figures with Tiamat, which we've seen already, and here's a new one for you. Kong with his axe, pre-Beast Glove, and then we got the Energized Godzilla. Absent, though, is the Mothra we saw, so maybe they're holding back on that one. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll see how it goes. These are slated to be out in stores later this summer. Also coming out later this year are the Jurassic Park reimagined real feel figures. And here's a Battle Roar Carnotaurus in those classic Kenner colors. Looks amazing. It looks like a Venom Carnage type of deal. I love it. I might get this. It is up for pre-order right now on Target.com. Jazzware has announced at SDCC that they are doing a total anime line, and they did have an exclusive at SDCC, and that is a Eren Yeager figure with a cape and a special uniform, I guess. which is different than the Eren Yeager that they are putting out at normal retail. 4 figures were announced. Not only are we getting Eren Yeager, we're getting this fellow from Jujutsu Kaisen, and then we're getting Deku from My Hero Academia, of course. I mean, we'll be getting that one to check out. And then Anya Forger from Spy X Family. Oh, totally blanked there. But a really cool looking new line of figures from Jazzwares. So let's do more Tamashii because they've had quite a bit to say this week, and we're getting a Wolverine and a Deadpool from the new movie. I gotta say though, I don't really like how this Wolverine figure looks. It looks a little odd to me. I'm not sure why, but I don't know if it's the face or what, but yeah, not really doing it for me, though I do have to say that this Deadpool looks very, very cool. I really like how this looks a lot. It looks like it's going to come with a ton of accessories, so that might be a get for me. I do like me some Deadpool here. So we'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Wolverine is kind of a miss. This Deadpool, though, look at this, man. Look at all this stuff is a win. Next up from the upcoming anime, Dan, we're getting the titular character. The trailer for this looks really good, by the way. I do want to check it out. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It looks really fun. And then we're getting Cherry from the anime as well. But that Dan figure, I don't know. I might not pre-order it, but if I see it, the anime, and I like it, it looks like a cool figure to get. I will admit that. Then, speaking of animes that I absolutely love, Lieutenant Hoshino is coming from Kaiju number 8. Love this character. Really cool character. Looking like the figure is representing it very well, as the other figures have as well. So I'm liking what I'm seeing here. It also comes with an extra faceplate for Kaiju number 8. So definitely one for me to get. Spiral Studio had a new Vinyl Monster Archive GMK Howler version pop up this week. Very expensive, but very cool looking. A little wacky, honestly. But I'm digging what I'm seeing here. The US Godzilla store has finally gotten in Gorosaur, so if you missed that, maybe you want to check it out. This weekend at ACGHK in Hong Kong, there is a special Studio Series Optimus Prime available to attendees to purchase. It is their exclusive there. It is a Optimus Prime that is done up in a special battle damage deco, or just like, you know, scuffed up and looking awesome. I don't know. This is what I would want from my Studio Series figures all the time. But yeah, a special version is out there. So if you're in Hong Kong, hey, you should get this. In the Masterpiece line, there is a Shattered Glass Optimus Prime coming, as well as a Jetfire in those Shattered Glass colors. In their T-Spark Realize model Zoids line, they're gonna put out a Command Wolf, and it looks pretty sweet. YOLO Park announced in their AMK Pro series, this is the diecast series, a Star Scream is going to be released as the 3rd figure. Looks very nice. I do have the Optimus here. Can't wait to build it. Can't wait to get Megatron. But Starscream is looking like a get too, because, I mean, look how good this looks, honestly. There's a new company in town called Unix Square, and they are doing an Optimus Prime that you put together as well, kind of like YOLO Park, but the difference here is you're going to be able to take it apart and then put it back together as the trailer, as the truck mode. Very interesting, very different to do something like that. Instead of transforming, you take it apart and put it back together. Yeah, that might be something I might want to check out. In a separate line, they are doing a Robotech VF1J. These are the prototypes shown here. Looking pretty good. It looks like it's going to be a straight-up action type figure. Of course, you know I'm about that. But yeah, I'm liking what I'm seeing here from that prototype. But then they had some more full renders that they showed off to start out the con this weekend. They look absolutely spectacular. And just to quickly add in these last couple picks, do say transformable action figures, so there's that. Speaking of awesome figures, the Super Cyborg Voltron is finally happening. It is coming out, and I am stoked. I've been stoked about this thing since Toy Fair last year, and I cannot wait to get this. It does release later this year in November, so, you know, in time for the 40th anniversary, and to me that sounds like a perfect thing to get. Belfine is doing a Go Shogun kit that looks awesome. I love this super robot, but, you know, it's a kit. Hopefully we get this guy maybe in a different robot line, huh? Sky Studios is doing a very nice, very evil Tekkaman Blade Blaster Evil. Looks pretty nice, I gotta say. And then 1000 Toys for the 30th anniversary of Hellboy is bringing their figure back out onto the market with all the bells and whistles, looking pretty spectacular, honestly. But he's not going to be alone because he's bringing along Lobster Johnson. That's right. Get yourself some awesome 1000 Toys Hellboy figures soon. Pre-orders are up at HLJ down below. And last but not least, for this first edition of the Comic-Con reports, Seismic's Shin Gomez is at the SDCC. So if you're an attendee, you'll be the first to be able to purchase this. They are in limited quantities, so do seek it out if you want to pick one up early. There you go, guys. That completes part 1 of our coverage of all of the con and surrounding toy news that we have this week. We'll be back tomorrow to talk even more San Diego Comic-Con, even more ACGHK, and whatever else might pop up. So do stay tuned for that. And if you're new to the channel, why don't you go ahead and sub yourself for daily content and let me help you diversify your collection. Till next time, peace out, peeps.